in the fall to study dramatic literature and theater history. Monica's thrilled to be here today to give us a keynote address on this Memorial Day. Please help me welcome Monica Mulhall.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us today to honor our fallen troops. Amidst the salutes, rippling flags, and fanfare, it is clear to see today of all days just how prevalent our pride is for the United States military. But the magnitude of this day extends far beyond what we can see and hear. Today, our hearts are heavy for the men and women who our country has lost. Yet, we also gather to celebrate the spirit and legacy of those who have given up their very lives to guarantee that our country perseveres. For centuries, our nation has thrived thanks to the dedication of our soldiers who have fought for liberty and justice for all. This ardor is the very basis upon which the United States of America was founded, and ever since, brave men and women have put their lives on the line to protect our freedoms. Those who have perished for those freedoms are rightfully recognized today. Ever since our nation's ideological landscape was first painted on a blank canvas, the defining brushstrokes were shaped by the impassioned men and women who protect the freedom that comprises it. The U.S. military has long given its soldiers direction and purpose, whilst instilling in them that fervor for freedom that we so cherish in our nation. Serving in the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, or Coast Guard is to wear a badge of honor, a declaration of your willingness to lay down your life for your country. When I speak of these impassioned men and women, one particular portrait of passion for the U.S. comes to mind. It is my favorite picture of my father. He was stationed in Saudi Arabia with the U.S. Air Force during Operation Desert Storm. To honor the soldiers who fought before them in earnest, my father and his friends attempted to stage a makeshift imitation of the famous photo, Raising the Flag on Iwo Jima, which features Appleton's very own hometown hero, John Bradley. The stripes of the flag my father and his friends hold are blazing red against the concrete of the military base, a testament to how the men and their patriotism stand as a radiant beacon of hope in the somber setting of war. Each time I return to the photo, the electric excitement in the young men's eyes never fails to inspire me. They are aglow with honor and pride, empowered by the history of the institution they belong to, and ready to fight for their beloved homeland, no matter what that may demand of them. Although my father was fortunate enough to make it home safely from his time overseas, it is with this same unparalleled love for his country and unbridled sense of honor that countless men and women have made the ultimate sacrifice for their nation and perished in battle. With this in mind, it seems only appropriate that a primary way we recognize the fallen on Memorial Day is by laying poppies on their graves. Inspired by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae's World War I poem, In Flanders Fields, where he writes, "In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row." The poppy has been adopted worldwide as a symbol of respect for fallen soldiers. The vibrant crimson of the poppy's petals lay in stark juxtaposition to the steely solemnity of the graves they decorate, just as the stripes of the U.S. flag are a striking scarlet against the dismal backdrop of the battlefield in Raising the Flag on Iwo Jima. Red represents not only blood, but also passion, willfulness, strength. All attributes that the men and women honored today will be long remembered for. These are precisely the virtues, passion, willfulness, and strength, for which we must convey our gratitude and seek to emulate in our own lives. After all, if emulation is the most sincere form of flattery, this is an opportunity we should proudly seize to pay tribute to our troops. Fighting for what you hold dear is not easy, nor has it ever been. But the soldiers we honor today put our own day-to-day battles in perspective. Looking on their graves, we find ourselves humbled to have thought that any sacrifice we have made has been by any means great. We might not know the limitless possibilities that are made available to us in our magnificent country without these fallen soldiers' readiness to put their own lives second to the prosperity of the United States of America. We might not have the luxury of dreaming greatly or the liberty of achieving such dreams if not for them. It is by their example that we must learn the art of standing steadfast when accosted with challenges. It is by their example that we may observe the true meaning of selflessness to protect and ensure a promising tomorrow for generations to come. In essence, they readily faced the possibility of giving up their own futures to ensure that ours could be bright. It is by their example that we must learn to be unafraid of where passion may lead us in our lives and the sacrifices it may ask of us down the line. To take up arms in the earnest and unselfish desire for the freedom of a nation is to be deserving of every declaration of valor, poppy laid in their honor, and moment of silence we will bestow upon the fallen today. For without their endurance and courage, liberty and freedom would cease to exist. Celebrating Memorial Day takes a certain level of courage as well, for to truly show respect for those who have lived and died for our freedom is to accept the challenge of living by their example and allowing them to inspire us to take full advantage of the freedoms they both provide and protect. Their passion and strength is as beautiful and poetic as the poppies we display in their memory, and has provided the defining brushstrokes in the landscape of our nation's legacy. So, let us remember our heroes today and every day, as their sacrifice and bravery remains at the very foundation of our country. Thank you, and happy Memorial Day.
How was that? Isn't that good to know? Yeah, let's give a round of applause for all of our students. There is hope, isn't there? Speaking of strewing flowers on the graves,